Everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and this is my final review today, finally catching up. And this is Ghost in the Shell, directed by Rupert Sanders, starring Scarlett Johansson, and a remake of the 1995 anime. I have yet to see the original, so I am judging this completely off of my experiences with this film, and I liked it. I know this is getting some very mixed reviews. I've heard some of the reviewers that I really enjoy give this high praise, and I've seen some of them say this is boring and stupid. So I didn't know what to expect going in, and I came out enjoying it. And Rupert Sanders has made Snow White and the Huntsman, which I did not like. I remember seeing that in theaters and thinking, like, what is this? It was very dour and uninteresting, and I was really hoping that I didn't get that feel. There's remnants of that in this film, but I feel like this complicated story with so many moving parts was handled very well by Rupert Sanders, and I have to give him credit for bringing the story together and making sense of it. And I think the biggest thing with this is there's a lack of energy and a little purpose with how it moves. I'm going to say I was not bored watching this movie, but I feel like there wasn't the energy that this film could have used to bring it up a level. And it kind of you're going along with scene, and nothing like bam, spark. I'm excited to move along and see what happens next. I was intrigued, but I was never super excited about seeing what happened next. And there's some really cool, unique visuals, especially with the invisibility thing going on in this, and how they construct holograms of people and how they break down afterwards into pixels. There were some really cool visual techniques in this film that I really impressed me. And almost perfect CGI. This was breathtakingly gorgeous, except for towards the end of the film, there are some parts it's like, okay, it wasn't the greatest, but did not take away from going on to Jess Hall, who's the cinematographer. This made a beautiful film, and the CGI world that they were in with all this like 3D advertising and everything, and it was really cool. I felt engrossed in this world, really cool, lived in feel to everything, and it was very well shot. Action sequences were easily seen and understood. There wasn't like shaky editing where I couldn't see things. There's one particular scene where I was afraid of it, but they did really cool job with using the lights of firearms in the darkness and capturing that sequence really well. So I was really impressed by the visuals of this film. It was brought together by three writers, and unfortunately, most of the characters were pretty flat, save for a couple of the characters, and those actors I'll talk about in a second. And when it really came down to it, the villain, the antagonist in this film was like, bleh, okay, whatever. But it was a cool story, but it was very exposition heavy. They had to explain a lot. And if this were to get a sequel, I feel like they set things up very well for you to understand things and didn't have to rely upon that. But it wasn't the most nicely handled exposition. There were some clunky parts throughout the film, and I think the biggest thing is they tasted some really cool themes, like understanding the difference between humanity and what makes life different than these robots and stuff like that. And Scarlett Johansson's character, the Major, really deals with that, and it could have gone deeper. They scratch at a lot of the stuff, and you do get a sense of them looking at these themes, but overall they could have done deeper. And I heard that the original film really delves into that and identity, and I'm looking forward to seeing the original film. And I feel like towards the end, the third act became a lot less interesting, and the climax of it wasn't as impressive as I would have liked, and it started getting choppily edited with scenes and things popping up, not clearly making connections between scene to scene, which kind of brought the movie down for me. In terms of acting, nobody did a bad job, but there was a stand. ScarJo did a fantastic job. Scarlett Johansson balancing being, hi, I am a robot, and slight showings of emotions or acknowledgement and balancing that really well that I really liked. And Pilu Aspect, don't know if I said that right, plays Bato, her partner, and I loved him. He was my favorite character. You might recognize him from Game of Thrones as Euron Greyjoy, and he was one of the standouts of this film. He had depth, he had character. I really liked him and his struggles and his loyalty. Takeshi Kitano, who plays their police captain, wasn't the super wasn't super deep as a character, but his performance really brought some gravitas to that role, and I loved him. He was a badass, and I enjoyed watching him. And Juliette Binoche does a really good job of being a middle ground character and bringing some emotional connection with some of the characters, and I really enjoyed her performance. The music by Clint Mansell and Lauren Balfe, all inspiring. It was beautiful, it was engaging, it was matched the emotions perfectly and was amazing. I loved it and I want to listen to the soundtrack again, and it really elevated this film in many ways. Overall, I enjoyed Ghost in the Shell quite a bit, and I would definitely want to watch it again and see where they might go with things. Going in just from, because I enjoy looking at numbers, I have a master's in accountancy, so, and I love statistics, and seeing that this had $110 million budget, I was really worried because I'm like, this doesn't seem like a good investment because this is a very weird property and it's not very mainstream in spending that much money trying to bring this to fruition. I don't know if it's going to really make its money. And a really disappointing opening weekend, so we will see how things go. So I don't know if they're going to make more, but I'd pay to see it. And I really did enjoy Ghost in the Shell. It's not a great movie, but from this sci-fi enthusiast, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give Ghost in the Shell a B minus.